So what's going on guys, Kades here and welcome back to a brand new video. For today I will show you the best Lost Arks PvP tier list in 2022. So with the release of ranked PvP and with the new upcoming classes called Glavier and Destroyer, I decided to make an updated video. So you may be wondering which class is the best for PvP, and by PvP I mean all the content like 3v3, 1v1 and any other type of player versus player arenas and much more. So I've done a bunch of testing and here's the tier list that you've been waiting for. And with all this said, let's get right into it. So then starting off with the first class that gets to be in the S tier, and it is the Paladin. So this is a tanky support class. He plays very well with different offensive classes because of the damage reduction skills. This class as well gives his team more control over the battlefield. But make no mistake, the Paladin also is capable of dealing damage. And lastly, you could choose to amplify your own damage or instead support your team with more defenses. The biggest drawback for this class in PvP is the lack of push immunity. So that means that if you don't want to get your skills interrupted, you have to avoid damage and you can't just use all of your skills all at once. So then in a quick summary, the Paladin class has medium damage, high tankiness, medium mobility, then synergy and peels, both of them are on high, super armor is low, and then lastly the class difficulty is on medium. So then going over to the last and final S tier class, which is the Bard. So this is a support class that with her music provides a wide variety of supportive skills. In PvP, the Bard plays like your traditional support class. Even though you will do low damage, she makes up for it with great defensive skills and buffs. She ranks very high on the PvP tier list with only the Paladin challenging her supportive position. Just having a support on your team alone gives you a huge advantage before the battle even starts. Navigating the PvP arena can be tricky at first, but a well-played Bard can be a difference between winning or losing a match. So then in my summary, this class has low damage, medium tankiness, low mobility, then the next three which are synergy, peels and super armor, all of them are on high, and then lastly the class difficulty is on medium. So then moving over to the third class, which I will put at the A tier, and it is the Deadblade. So this class has huge AoE skills with high damage, and she has as well a lot of combos to destroy the enemy's team. Deadblade is basically Lost Ark's rogue type of class that utilizes speed and crowd control. In PvP, the Deadblade revolves around quick catches with her dashes and crowd control. She is a hit and run specialist that goes in when the time is right and deals massive amounts of damage. So then in a quick summary, the Deadblade has high damage, medium tankiness, then the next four which are mobility, synergy, peels and super armor, all of them are on high, and then lastly the class difficulty is on medium. So then going over to the next class, which is the Sorceress, and we want to put her right next to the Deadblade. So Sorceress is your traditional mage class that has a good skill ceiling, but can be easy to pick up as well. She has many flexible combo options and can potentially take over a battle with her mobility and low cooldowns. This class ranks high on the overall PvP tier list, although her damage is very high, most of it depends on if you can land your skill shots. So then in my quick summary, this class has very high damage, low tankiness, mobility and synergy, both of them are on medium, peels are high, super armor is low, and then lastly the class difficulty is on medium. So then moving over to the next one, which is the Gunslinger, and we want to include her right in the A tier. So the Gunslinger is Lost Ark's traditional gunner class. Her unique identity allows her to swap between 3 different weapons, giving her a wide range of tools to deal with many fights. The pistol skills are used for mobility and engagement, shotgun is used for damage, and sniper is mainly used for long-range one-shot kills. So overall the Gunslinger revolves around quick catches with his sniper and pistol combo. The ability to dance around the arena with lethal skills give her a very good ranking on the PvP tier list. If you play it well, this class is a strong carry that is hard to stop. So then in my summary, the Gunslinger has high damage, low tankiness, high mobility, medium synergy, high peels, medium super armor, and then lastly the difficulty of this class is on high. So then for the next one we have the Wardancer, and we want to put her right in the A tier. So Wardancer is Lost Ark's agile fighter class that focuses on quick engagements and combos. Even though she doesn't have a lot of protected moves, she makes up for it with defensives and disruption. In PvP, the Wardancer revolves around pressuring the opposition's backline with her hit and run playstyle. So then in my final summary, the Wardancer has medium damage and medium tankiness. Then her mobility is high, synergy and peels, both them are on medium, super armor is on low, and then lastly the difficulty of this class is on high. Okay, so then moving over to the next class, which is the Gunlancer, and we want to put him right in the A tier. So Gunlancer is the tankiest class in Lost Ark. Not only he can protect himself, but he can also provide a bunch of supportive skills to his teammates. Then as well be aware that the Gunlancer is the only class whose spacebar moves them backwards. This could be a small annoyance to some players, but after a few minutes of gameplay you will get used to it. In PvP, the Gunlancer's greatest strength lies in his supportive capabilities, but don't let his looks fool you, because he can deal respectable amounts of damage as well. And then lastly, be prepared to be everyone's best friend if you want to play this class, because the Gunlancer is very popular and most PvP players want this class in their team. So then in my summary, the Gunslinger has medium damage, high tankiness, low mobility, and then the next four, which are called synergy, peels, super armor and difficulty of this class, all of them four are on high. So then for the next class, we have the Shadowhunter, and we want to put him right in the A tier. So Shadowhunter is Lost Ark's demonic class. Her unique identity allows her to transform into a demon, giving her access to high damage kills. She has also two different playstyles that can revolve around range or melee combat. In PvP, the Shadowhunter relies on quick catches with her dashes and long-range engagements. She is a hit-and-run specialist that goes in when the time is right and escapes with ease. She ranks high on the PvP tier list for her ability to be extremely mobile ranged class that doesn't sacrifice damage because of her demonic form. So then in my summary, this class has high damage, then the next three, which are called tankiness, mobility and synergy, all of them are on medium, then peels are high, super armor is low, and then lastly the difficulty of this class is on medium. So then going over to the last and final A tier class, which is the Striker. So the Striker is a fighter class that focuses on quick engagements and combos. Even though he doesn't have a lot of protected moves, he makes up for it with his high disruption and mobility. In PvP, the Striker revolves around pressuring the opposition's backline with his hit and run playstyle. One of his most defining traits is his Lightning Tiger Strike, which is a powerful disruption skill that gives him push immunity protection. So then in my quick summary, the Striker has medium damage and tankiness, mobility is on high, synergy and peels, both of them are on medium, super armor is low, and then lastly the class difficulty is on high. So then moving over to the next class, which is the Berserker, and we want to put him right in the B tier. So the Berserker is Lost Ark's traditional warrior class with a slight twist. He is fast-paced, beefy and can dish out serious damage when given the opportunity. This gives the Berserker a very good ranking on the PvP tier list. In 3v3 arenas, the Berserker plays more like a hit-and-run assassin than rather a full brawler class. That's mainly because his abilities in PvP have high cooldowns, and he can be limited by mana issues as well. But don't worry, because his abilities have a devastating impact in battle if used properly. So then in my quick summary, this class has high damage, tankiness, mobility and synergy, all of them three are on medium, peels are low, super armor is high, and then lastly the difficulty of this class is on medium. So then moving over to the next class, which is the Artillerist, and we want to put him right next to the Berserker. So the Artillerist is a Lost Ark's guy with a massive rocket launcher type of class. He specializes in heavy weaponry and turns into a stationary turret to decimate his opponents. Even though this class can be slow, he makes up for it with his big AoE damage. In PvP, the Artillerist is a combo-reliant class that relies on his stuns to deal big damage. The combos can deal half an opponent's HP or even more, if you land it correctly. But sadly, these skills can be dodged quite easily, so positioning and landing the stun is very important. This class is easy to get into, and you can even demolish newer players if they get caught in front of your chops. So then in my summary, this class has high damage, medium tankiness, mobility, synergy and peels. All of them three are on low, super armor is high, and then lastly the difficulty of this class is on low. So then moving over to the last and final B tier class, which is the Soulfist. So Soulfist is a quite unique mid-range fighter class that relies on high burst damage and mobility. She has an energy system unlike the traditional mana resource in the game called Hype. Once your energy is depleted, you cannot perform any additional skills until it's recharged. In PvP, the Soulfist relies on mid-range skill shots and their hype windows. These are 3 stages of hype that grants increasing stats and energy restoration. Knowing when to use these hype windows will allow you to get very good combos on the enemy players. So then in my summary, this class has high damage, tankiness and mobility, both of them are on medium, synergy is high, heals are medium, super armor is low, and then lastly the difficulty of this class is on medium. So then taking a closer look at the next C tier class, and the first class that gets to be in here is the Glavier, aka the Lance Master. So Glavier is a spear wielding class. He is very fast paced class that has to swap between 2 different weapons. His main playstyle revolves around having to charge 3 bars and then swapping to the second weapon to get a huge damage boost. In PvP, this is very strong and fun class to use, and I really recommend for every single player to at least try it out. So then in my summary, this class has high damage, medium tankiness and mobility, his synergy is low, heals are high, and then lastly super armor and class difficulty, both of them are on medium. So then moving over to the next class, which is the Deadeye, and he gets to be placed in the C tier. So Deadeye in PvP is a hard class that has to use 3 different weapons. The main DPS weapon is the shotgun. This class is strong, it can be even top DPS if you manage everything perfectly. Issue with this class is that it's super squishy, so it's very easy to get caught by the enemies while using your main DPS skills. Then in PvP, the Deadeye revolves around quick catches with his sniper and pistol combo. If you play it well, this class is a strong carry that is hard to stop. So then in my quick summary, this class has high damage, low tankiness, high mobility, medium synergy, heals are high, super armor is medium, and then lastly the difficulty of this class is on high. So then moving over to the last and final C tier class, which is the Scrapper. So Scrapper is Lost Ark's beefiest fighter class, throwing herself at the enemy with her speed and disruption abilities. Makes her very annoying to play against. In PvP, the Scrapper's unique identity offers her a great versatility, managing shock and stamina energy properly, coupled with low cooldowns, allow her to keep up consistent pressure on the enemy backline. 2 dashes for her spacebar leaves plenty of room for massive outplay potential. While mostly focused on a hit and run playstyle, she is able to stick to a target if necessary. And if given the opportunity, she can even do a bunch of great damage. So then in my quick summary, this class has medium damage and tankiness, then his mobility is high, synergy is low, and then the last 3, which are called peels, super armor and class difficulty, all of them are on medium. So then moving over to a new and upcoming class, which is the Destroyer, and he gets to be placed in the last D tier. So Destroyer is a very slow but very hard hitting class. He has a lot of shielding from his skills, he does a lot of damage currently in PvP, and he's very annoying to play against, as he can catch any enemy very easily. Destroyer is a very good and not hard class to pick up and master. So then in my summary, this class has high tankiness and damage, he has low mobility and synergy, his peels and super armor is high as well, and then lastly the difficulty of this class is on low. So then for the last and final class, we have the Sharpshooter, and we want to put him in the D tier. So the Sharpshooter is Lost Ark's traditional archer class. In PvP, the Sharpshooter plays more like a hit and run assassin. His meta defining build plays off his stealth. With his stealth, he can serve as a ranged initiator and a huge damage dealer to the enemy backline. His damage is quite high, and he is an excellent choice for someone looking to play as a ranged bow player. With proper positioning and good aim, this class can be devastating in battle. So then in my quick summary, this class has medium damage, low tankiness, high mobility, low synergy, heals and super armor, both of them are on medium, and then lastly the difficulty of this class is on low. So with that said, I really do appreciate everyone for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, feedback, or maybe you have a different idea about a class on this PvP tier list, then you are feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below. And while you're doing that, please click like, subscribe and enable that notification bell, so this way you could support the channel and you won't miss any more amazing content from me. With all this said, you have an amazing day and I'll catch you in my next video. So take it easy, peace.